Hi, my name is Daniel Ribeiro, and my first love story with the Zambezi River in Mozambique was in the late 90s. And I remember after driving about 800 kilometers, arriving very late in the day, and it was actually pitch black, so I just could hear it. The Zambezi near the community called Chironzo and Shinangwe. And so I first heard the sound before I saw the images of the river. And it was just light rustle and very soothing. It was one of the best sounds that I fell asleep with. The next day I woke up pretty early, given that the temperatures there go over 40. And there was these purple, pink colors from the sunrise. And then I saw it, and it was just something else. The place is a mix between the environment and its people, and that interaction is something I've always loved about Zambezi. There's this combination that's really special, and just the whole energy in the place was really moved me, and we've been trying to protect it ever since. Unfortunately, that's where they want to put the next big dam, Mpandankua, and all those communities are going to have to remove from there. And it was something that I think with time I started realizing how complex a river is to a community, especially in Africa, where a place in Mozambique, more than 80% of the population are rural-based, subsistence-based. And therefore, the environment is the employer, is what gives them livelihoods. They produce over 70% of what they eat. And that interaction with the river, environment, people, it's hard to understand without being there. It's very complex, far deeper than you just reading it. From the fields, during the floods, this huge, rich soil gets deposited, which anything grows there. I was speaking with one of the local community members, and while I was speaking with him, his son was playing with a fishing rod, and during a 15-minute conversation, he caught 3 fish. I've been on the side of a river in the south, by Maputo, where I've stayed all afternoon. I didn't catch anything. And it's these little details, a little balance that I found very beautiful. And it really hit home later in the trip when I went to Korobasa. It's one of the largest dams in Africa. And you met with this huge wall, and the water, there's no sound, except for this big, loud noise from the water getting squeezed through these little holes in the wall. And the water's not moving, there is nothing on the banks. You have this bare section from the river, from the water rising up and down, that nothing grows, just like scar along the river line. And there we realized that even though these parts of this lake that are pretty, visually very beautiful, when you lose the people and that interaction with the people, it becomes sterile. And that's where it re-emphasizes the importance of keeping this way of life, this system functional. I got to know the delta, the largest delta in East Africa, and how that interaction when the river meets the ocean and that whole dynamics between the two is also something just breathtaking. And all these different parts of the river are completely different dynamics, reality, different ways that it ends up living. And all this is something that's really kept me motivated to carry on fighting that it stays that way. And then it's something that I'm very grateful for.